hanging out with Ian and Abby playing some Pokémon LeafGreen, aka nostalgic video games, as a couple. Last episode, Ian realized he went the wrong way, but we are going to fight 4 green-haired women and 1 probably green-haired man, because we have to assume everyone has green hair in the ocean.
Lots of chlorine in this ocean. But before we do, Abby, you know what we have not done in a while?
What? What should I do in this? The TV?
Yes, and I remember now how to get there. Here, key items. Yes, it is a key item.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, battle, status. I don't think we've done type matchups.
Okay.
Okay, let's go through this. Where's Pokedude?
Oh, hello, Elvis.
Hey, all you trainers out there. Hello, trainers. ... Come on, let me hear ya. Hello, trainers. It's me, the Pokedude. Does everyone know about type matchups? More like type matchups. Pokemon and all their moves belong to certain types. For example, there are such types as grass and water. You need to consider the type of the move used to attack, as opposed to the type of the move used to defend, and the type of the Pokemon that is hit by the attack. Depending on how those 2 types match up, the damage can change. You see, it depends on whether the type matchup is good or bad. If you don't know how the matchups work, battles will be tough. So let me demonstrate exactly what I mean. Alright, here goes. Keep your eyes glued to the Super Pokedude show.
What fever dream created this?
I love it. We actually might have seen this.
I'm not even mad.
I don't think so.
I think they're all very similar. I think we watched I Want to Catch a Pokemon, and then we watched status effects.
It's not very effective. The move Bubble is a water-type attack. The target Oddish is a grass poison-type Pokemon. The water-type attack is absorbed by the grass-type Pokemon. As a result, the move becomes not very effective and inflicts only half the usual damage. While Oddish used Absorb. Well, Poliwag had its energy drained. Uh-oh, this is not good. The Absorb attack you just saw is a grass-type move. Poliwag is a water-type Pokemon, so Absorb becomes super effective, doubling the damage. Oh, he's going to switch Pokemon. It's not going to be easy to win with this matchup. Let's try shifting Pokemon. We've never seen him do this. Ah!
Cute.
He's a cheater.
Is that cheating?
Yes, he's not a cheater. He is smart.
You can have more Pokemon.
Shifting Pokemon in and out uses up 1 turn. Now, if it's the opponent's turn, we'll Absorb on a flying bug type. That will do 1 damage. Butterfree is a bug flying type Pokemon. Against this Pokemon, a grass type attack inflicts only half the usual damage on a bug type Pokemon. And it also causes only half the damage on a flying type Pokemon.
Quarter damage?
Therefore, only takes a quarter of its usual damage. I always thought they should, a flying or psychic type attack is super effective against it. One of those types of attack will inflict double the usual damage. Okay, here we go. Alright.
This is very intense.
Yeah, this is one of his better videos. It's not as fun, but maybe sometimes his closing remarks are pretty good. I always thought that if something was quadruple effective or quadruple not effective, it should say that. It should say, like, that move was super duper effective. Or like
super-de-duper-de.
Or like, that move was super, super ineffective. Yeah, we won. Nice. Nice, got some experience. Nice work. It is possible to launch an attack that will inflict heavy damage.
Is it?
Does the opposing Pokemon pose a threat to your Pokemon? Is there any chance that it may have a disastrously tough move? Watch the type matchups to gain the upper hand. Alrighty, be seeing you. Oh, for the cool type Pokedude. Awesome type kids like you match up perfectly.
Remember, a good day today brings happiness to stay.
Oh, he's so precious.
That's very 90s, I think, is the best way to describe that.
I like that guy. Okay, let's,
When we discovered that, I don't know how I felt, but I still don't know how I feel.
I think we are honored.
I don't know if we deserve that. Truly.
So, and as we go through these 4 trainers, oh my goodness, this guy has just tentacool 4 days. In the last episode, we were talking a bit about Temtem. I don't know if anybody out there has played Temtem, but if you have, let us know. Let us know how you rank it compared to your favorite Pokemon game. Abby, what your favorite Pokemon game, I believe, is one of the silvers?
It was Diamond. Diamond was my favorite.
Like Brilliant Diamond, like the upgraded one, or Diamond?
The OG one. Like the 2009, 2010-ish Diamond.
Okay.
Whatever year that
You
was.
played that the most, eh?
Yes. Yes. I looked at my logs of my old games. That I definitely played the most on that one. Because I had the original Silver. Not Soul Silver, but like Silver. But I had 2 copies of it, and neither of them would save. So I remember a few times I tried to just keep it plugged in and on. And over the several days, just tried to beat it. It never really worked out that well. And I have the original Gold. That was pretty fun. The original Blue was pretty fun. A lot of them are good. I mean, as a single-person game, independently playing of other people, the original Pokemon games I like a lot. I find one of the reasons I liked Temtem so much was because I could play it with you. It was just a different gaming experience altogether. It's like Cat Quest. Cat Quest is a game that we will play on this channel.
Oh, yes.
We will play so much Cat Quest. I don't know if we can play all the iterations of Cat Quest, because there's 3 of them, or if we'll just do one of them. I don't know. We have the capacity to share.
May I interject for one moment? One of the Cat Quests, isn't it pirate-based, or are they all pirate-based?
They all pirate-based.
Okay, I couldn't remember if they were all piratey or not, but I would obviously choose the piratey one if I had a vote.
I think they all have pirate. I think one is more piratey than the others, but they all have piratey essence. It's sort of 2D meets 3D animation. I think that's the best way to describe it. It kind of looks like if you've seen a TV show as a kid where it's a book opens and you sort of go into the book and things pop out of it, and they sort of make a show based on that. There are some 3D elements, but it's like there's all these 2D elements just sort of staggered, but you can go into the foreground towards different 2D elements. It's very cool. And it's a lot of fun. And I super love it. And we play together because we can. And it's not a stressful game. You can lose, and that can be frustrating, but it's not rage-inducing like I sometimes find Thunderfolk to be on the epic, super difficult hardcore level.
Very true. So what I was going to ask is about... We're definitely going to talk about Cat Quest again, because we're going to spend quite a few hours, I'm sure, playing it with everybody out there and having a great old time. So... Jolteon, by the way, is just racing through. Now, I wonder if he should learn Thunder Wave, because that will be... No, we don't want to learn Thunder Wave. Stop learning, yes. I was going to say, that might be a good way to catch Pokemon, but we're actually going to get Sleep from Togetic, and that is a stronger way. I think is a higher catch rate to Sleep a Pokemon than to Thunder Wave it. Don't quote me, though. I have been wrong so often in this game. But what I was going to ask Abby about your favorite Pokemon game, you said was Diamond. And if you could only play one Pokemon game, I'm guessing that would be it. How does it match up against Temtem, assuming that you can play Temtem with whoever, and assuming you can play Soul Silver with whomever?
Diamond?
Diamond. Which one would you say was better?
That's not a fair question.
I'm unfair.
I like Diamond better only because I felt there was more to do in the game than there was in Temtem, because there was the whole making the underground where you can dig for fossils and make your own clubhouse. So it kind of had a perpetual storyline, because if you tried to find all the furniture and get all the items in the underground, I mean, I played it on and off for years, like literally more than a decade. Almost 2 decades.
The same save file?
Yeah. because I'm not getting rid of all my Pokemons I worked so hard to catch. I've got like a Jirachi, I think. I have at least some of the legendaries. I caught one of the not melodic, those little sprite things that annoy me. Azelf and Mesperid and the other one whose name escapes me.
Yeah, Diamond was a fantastic game. I think I only played Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but they're on the Switch, so we're actually going to play through those probably next after we beat up Leaf Green and Fire Red.
Yeah, we hope you're not just hanging out with us because specifically Leaf Green is your vibe, because there are a lot of Pokemon games, and we will play literally all of them if we can. So hope you want to hang out with us. Maybe.
I mean, you have no choice. You must hang out with us.
I must hang out with you.
Let's, you know what, we have enough PP on Jolteon, I think. Jolteon is just cruising, although I don't want to push his level too high.
You can, is this Pallet Town?
Yes, it is.
You can go to your house to heal.
Yes, but where's the fun in that? We charge forward.
You're crazy. It makes me anxious when you don't heal your Pokemon. Truly. I think you're a madman.
I know, but we have so many Pokemon.
Did we catch everything that can be found in the wild? In the water?
I don't know. Let's find out. That's a good question. Fisherman. Hello, sir.
Hello. Your hat is very fancy.
Quite a jaunty cap. So, okay, she's saying she liked Diamond a bit more because the replayability, or the...
I mean, I have never found everything you could possibly find in the underground city, which I think added an element, because it was robust enough that I enjoyed playing it, especially with my friends.
Mm-hmm. How did you play the underground with your friends?
It was I forget exactly how it worked, because this was back in high school when I had friends. I mean, I still have friends, like 3 of them, not to brag.
What about me?
You're one of the 3.
Excellent. I'm your robot friend.
But I think it was a link connect, and you could go into each other's underground, and you could make a clubhouse, and your friends could go into it. I still have the save file. But I feel like Temtem was a lot of fun, but there was a limit to the story. And then the replayability just sort of became attempting to catch all the different iterations of the Temtems. The caveat to that, which I loved and also was frustrated by, is that there was... Actually, it was very cool. There's a market in Temtem where you can sell and trade different Temtems.
Oh, yeah!
So it sort of changed things dramatically when we realized that, because it was pretty far into the game when we finally figured out what it was, right? Because we never really went in that building and we didn't know what it was. And then we realized, instead of trying to find and catch the Temtems independently, just in the wild, you can look up exactly what you want, and either you can pay a certain price of in-game currency for it, or there were auctions and you could hope that it was a reasonable price and your bid was the most accepted one. And then it sort of just became an eBay situation where after you defeated the main plot line, I wanted to catch more Temtem, and I still do, in a way. I still would like to continue to catch Temtem. But the problem became, it became less about playing the game and more about trying to earn money and sort of gambling in an auction situation to try to get the Pokemon you wanted or the Temtem you wanted. Whereas in Diamond, you truly had to go and catch them. But again, I do like the idea in Pokemon of being able to have a wise... Was it a Final Fantasy? There was one video game we played for not very long, because it was not the most fun game. But do you remember it had this huge auction house, and there were like little animal companions you could use. There was a lot of desert in this game. It was around the time we played Black Clover or Black whatever, where we couldn't figure out the tutorial. And
Black. So we tried to play Black Desert together.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
We couldn't get past the first step of the tutorial. We could not make the characters move. We pressed every button. We could not make the characters move. It wasn't the one where you had your cat companion, because there's one where you had, remember your cat butler?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it wasn't, it might have been Monster Hunter. I don't remember. I'm going back to all our 8 years of video game playing together, we played a lot. We've tried a lot. We've tried to find things that we really like. But it had a really robust auction system, and I think that would be beneficial in Pokemon, because while I have never, outside of ZA, found a shiny Pokemon in the wild, and I think it was only because ZA sort of made it easier to find shiny Pokemon, I feel like you have the ability to find them, and it's possible to find the same type twice. So, I mean, if there was an auction house or a buy and sell feature between all players where you could just save up and pay, I don't know, $1 million to get a shiny Charizard or something to start with, you know, that would be fun. I would do that. I think that would be a lot of fun for me, to be able to purchase a shiny Pokemon from the auction house.
By the way, out of nowhere, these Pokemon are getting, like, oddly
strong.
Yeah, it's funny. But let's do Aerialize. How much would that have done?
I don't know it.
I don't know it.
But yeah, like, do you agree? Do you think that would be a fun feature to add to Pokemon?
Auction house, yeah, it was really fun in Temtem. The only problem with Pokemon having an auction house is because of Pokemon Home. Well, let me take a step back. So for those, this is probably late in the game to explain, but if you haven't played Temtem, basically, I think Abby's
I don't think you fought the guy with the green hair, did you?
I didn't see the guy with the green hair. I'll go see.
It was next to the lady. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like you might have missed them.
It was a double battle. Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Okay, that's why.
Yeah.
You fought them with the same. Duh, I was literally watching the double battle, but in my head I was like, there's another guy. Okay, you're saying. So,
yeah, Temtem is essentially a Pokemon. It's almost too good to be called a knockoff. It's an imitation. It's a. How would you describe it?
I'm trying to think of the word I want to use.
What's a complimentary word for copying someone?
It was inspired by. It's a.
That's well said. It was inspired by Pokemon. Well said.
Now, there's a better word. I'll think of it. Probably at 1 o'clock in the morning and wake up going, aha! You know, how normal people interact with one another.
I will attack in a grumpy rage.
Ian will use yawn.
I will use snore. So anyway, hello, fisherman.
Hello, friend.
So Temtem was inspired by Pokemon, and the thing about Temtem is it's just the one game. And in the auction house, you could get your beasts, your Temtems, which are basically the equivalent of Pokemon. And just like Pokemon, they had stats. And I don't remember offhand what they were.
Yeah, and you could see the stats. There were, I think, 3 main stats. There was sort of health, attack, and defense or something like that. I remember there were bars, and you could see...
That might be Pokemon Go you're thinking of?
No, I am right about this.
Protect, out of nowhere. Cloyster, I think Cloyster is a very cool concept.
Yeah, it had a number beside it to how perfect it was, I think. Like, there were some that were 100%.
Okay. But in any event,
Yeah, the SVs and TVs. Yes.
So they had several stats. She's pulled it up.
I did, to prove that I was right.
She's proven she's right. So, it had several stats, and they made a big difference in the gameplay. And especially in the post-game where you were fighting very highly developed teams. And what I'm getting at is it was very difficult. I guess the amount of hours it would have taken for a character to produce, let's say, a perfect stat Temtem is much exponentially more than it would be to produce a perfect stat Pokemon in this day and age, because basically everyone in their Pokemon home probably has really high statted, like high IVs or good-natured Pokemon.
Because Pokemon Home, if you are unfamiliar, essentially allows you, from many games, not LeafGreen and Fire Red on the Switch, they don't allow you to transfer Pokemon from home to the game, but for most other games, you can transfer Pokemon freely to and from Pokemon Home. And I play Pokemon Go, and I've been playing it since 2016, I think it came out. So 10 years, I think. I stand to be corrected on that. But I have captured many thousands of Pokemon in 10 years just by playing. And you, by default, catch good ones with good stats. So you end up transferring them to Pokemon Home, and then there have been times where we have played Pokemon games where we could transfer them in, and he goes, oh, I want a Riolu or something. And I go, here is my selection, sir. And I end up having most natures and most stats already. So then even if it's not perfect, it's pretty easy to breed with them to get better stat options.
That's true. So the item, the Destiny Knot, and the Everstone, when it comes to breeding in Pokemon, makes it easy to breed them. But more than that, the bottle caps, which come out, I don't think they were out in Emerald. They're definitely out in Brilliant Diamond and Brilliant Shining Diamond, Brilliant Sapphire. No,
Shining
Brilliant
Pearl.
Yeah. Okay, that's out of games. So bottle caps automatically make a Pokemon's IVs perfect.
All of them?
Yeah. Well, if it's a gold bottle cap, yes, but if it's just a normal bottle cap, it's whatever IV you pick. But they're looted, they're easy to get. They take a little bit of doing, but they're pretty easy. And then in Sword and Shield, it's like they're throwing them at you.
I don't think I ever used them in Sword and Shield. I don't do Pokemon properly. I think I traded them all to you. I think you were like, oh, I need those.
I probably stole them.
Yeah, he stole them from me. So I didn't actually know there were any in Sword and Shield because I never used one. Thanks, Ian.
They were thrown right. So what I'm saying is the auction house in Temtem had a real feeling of worth. And I think Pokemon, I don't think there's a way to do it so you could make it so people couldn't just port in their perfect Pokemon easily.
I mean, I wouldn't even be mad if they did. Because then you could have access to them. Maybe they'd have to put a limit to how much it could be worth. You know?
And the other thing I like about Temtem, which I'm skeptical Nintendo will be able to do, is I'm pretty sure that Temtem was a non-real money-based economy.
You couldn't spend money if you wanted to.
Yeah. And I admired them for that.
Yeah.
I feel like the current leadership at Nintendo is definitely not able to implement that. But I guess that's a different discussion.
It's a different problem. But yes, I think when we purchased the game, I think there were expansion packs you could buy with some... I'm not sure if this is Cassette Beast I'm thinking of, or Temtem. For sure Cassette Beast, but I think maybe Temtem. There was a bonus you got on Steam or something. You could get like an extra outfit or something. I don't know. But when you played the game, let's say for argument's sake, 1 million of in-game currency to buy a Lumos or a Lumi Temtem that you really wanted. You weren't allowed, there was no option to put in your credit card to give them X amount of real dollars to get that much in-game currency. You had to gain the in-game currency in the game. And that was admirable. I do admire them for that.
That was strong. So, I think...
Oh,
the Pokemon Mansion. So, I think we're going to... Actually, let's not throw on the rappel till we've plumbed the depths of this interesting cavern.
Mm-hmm.
I think... Are we getting attacked on the stairs?
I hope so.
By Eradicate?
We have to catch it!
I don't know what the attack to use to not kill it. I think Hidden Power... will be high level, but... Grass type? Okay.
That's great.
Scary face? No need, Eradicate. No need. You wasted a turn.
Atropele tous!
Here we go. We're going in with the... We only have 11 Great Balls. We should probably spend some money on Ultra Balls.
We're not far away from the entrance and or the market.
And yet...
Did you sell the nuggets we found?
No.
We have at least a few nuggets. Aw.
Oh, Eradicate. I like how it doesn't really have very long arms.
Just his hands.
It looks like a rodent of unusual size that you see in
The Princess
Bride.
I like that you just said you wanted more Pokeballs and then immediately did not go to get more Pokeballs.
You know what? I'm inspired by that Eradicate, which fell into the Great Ball. This is not going to do much. It's not very effective. I learned from the Pokedude's tutorial. Alright, let's see.
One thing I did really like about, I think I've said this, but the auction house in Temtem, you could see every single stat. So before, it was laid out. So when you were in the auction house, you saw the Pokemon's picture, what it was called, if it was a shiny, it said that, but you could also see from the very different colors. Another thing I liked is that the shiny Pokemon in Temtem, or the shiny Tems in Temtem, were dramatically different colors from the regular ones. And I think that's all we really want in shiny Pokemon, but there are so many Pokemon. I want to say half of shiny Pokemon. Like, truly, there's so many of them that the color of the shiny is so similar to the regular color, like Togepi, that it's almost not worth getting it, because what's the point? Yes, it's shiny, but unless you saw the symbol, you'd think it was just the same regular one. Like, you want something like Black Charizard is so cool. And he is a different color than orange. You can tell he is a different Pokemon, like a shiny Pokemon. And Yveltal, is that how you say it?
I think so.
He, the shiny, is totally reversed colors. And there's enough of the colors that you can tell that is a different color scheme. Like, it's a different Pokemon. And what's another really good one? I'm trying to think of...
Rayquaza. Anywhere the shiny like becomes almost the polarized version of the original color.
Rayquaza's a good one.
Always turns out very well. Like if it becomes very dark or very light, I feel that
it's strong.
Is impressive to look at. Where it's subtle, it is less desirable and less interesting, especially when you can't tell.
Yeah, like Rapidash. Rapidash is a great one. Blue flames. So cool. Fits in where the color flame could actually be, which is sort of a bonus. I don't know if they intended to do that or if they just thought blue was a cool color. But I am a huge fan of shiny Ponyta. There is a Pokeball at the very bottom.
Oh, nice.
But just do that. So the Temtems...
Just do that.
The Temtems were always obviously a shiny because the color scheme was vastly different. Much appreciation. But in the auction house, you could see under every Temtem all of their stats. And they were color-coded too, so not only did it show you the stats, but the colors indicated how good it was. And I think if it was perfect, it indicated it was perfect.
Although, can I just pause and say how cool Ninetales looks?
I know, a little friend!
I think that wins my... I know you said Aerodactyl, and I agreed with you, but I now say Ninetales is the coolest, most well-designed.
Did I say Aerodactyl was the coolest?
Or, sorry, you said Articuno.
Yeah, Ninetales. What are we doing?
We are looking for the hidden key.
Ah.
And it is hidden. Or the safe key or the old key.
Some key.
Apparently this is the lab where Mewtwo was made. Or Mew, I don't.
Can we catch Mew or Mewtwo? Here?
Mewtwo we can, not here, in Cerulean Cave.
What about Mew? Is Mew in this game?
No idea. I don't think so. I think you need the ticket to the Naval Rock or like Origin Island or something. And I don't know how to get the ticket.
Low-key Googling.
Yeah. So...
No! Mew was never programmed to be available. No! It's expired Nintendo events.
What was the Nintendo event called? It was the Origin Island, right?
I don't know it. Used through trading, cheating, action replay, or emulator glitches. We don't have an emulator. We brought the actual game. We're responsible video game players.
Is Voltorb the most boring Pokemon?
No truck glitch. The famous red, blue, and yellow myth about Mew being under a truck does not work in LeafGreen. You can trade Mew from Pokemon Emerald only if you have the old C map, or use a Game Shark action replay device to force an encounter. I don't know if you heard that. Our dog groaned off screen. He's judging me. Anyway, to sum up the Temtem thing, I liked that the stats were readily available, so if you wanted to bid on a Tem, not only did you know what it was, if it was a shiny, what its level was, but you knew all of its stats. There was nothing hidden, and I don't like in Pokemon that, as an example, hidden power. The only way you can really know what the hidden power is by fighting everything and just knowing type matchups, and even then, you're sort of guessing sometimes. You know? And I know in newer ones you can find a guy who can tell you, but it's annoying that you have to do that. I mean, I feel like it should be really easy to see every stat and every kind of element of the Pokemon. Why can't they just tell us what the hidden power would be? Why can't that be a line of text? You know? You still have to find the move hidden power, but why make it so hard for us to know? Or, when you use hidden power, why can't the animation indicate what the power is? I mean, there's just so many, like, IVs and EVs, you just have to fight so hard to figure out what they are. In Fire Red, we tried to do an EV calculator. Do you remember that nonsense? And it went so poorly.
Yeah, I mean, it does get better in the later games, but then as it gets better, it gets so easy to make them perfect anyway. It's kind of irrelevant if you can see them or not. So, like, for example, in the... Where is this key? In the... When they're sort of introducing the concept of EVs. So IVs are stats that Pokemon are born with. And they can be changed in the later games with...
Bottle caps?
Bottle caps, but... He's over. Aww.
Yeah.
Oh, that's... I think that's the way out of the mansion. I think. Doesn't make a lot... Wait, have we been here?
I don't know it. It all kind of looks the same.
I know, but the floor is new. Anyway. Once they introduced the concept of EVs, and I think it was in Pokemon Emerald, which is the game I prefer the most of the Pokemon series.
I don't think I played that one.
I really hope we can play it somehow.
Maybe Pokemon will release it. As we said, Niantic, take our money, even though we want to play it together. Even if you just re-release all the old Pokemon games on the Switch, we will buy them.
We will buy them.
We will buy a Switch 2 if you only release them on the Switch 2. We will take our money. We will buy them. We will pay $1,000 for a Switch 2 or whatever it is, just to play old Pokemon games. We are suckers who love the Pokemon. Just take our money and give us what we want.
Ooh, Ponyta.
Ponyta.
So cool. So Emerald. In Emerald, I remember effort values, EVs, and those are so there's some stats, hidden stats you were born with, that Pokemon is born with, and some hidden stats you can improve through who you fought.
Yes.
And it used to be such a struggle to get your effort value points, and then in the newer games you could kind of just buy...
Who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Buy products that are... Aha!
That was so useful, and a full restore. It's not even what you were looking for. But I do love that we found it. That room looks promising. There's a Pokeball in that room. We should go to that room.
Or like in this game, for example, you can buy vitamins to increase your effort values, but only up to 100 points. After that, you have to do it the honest way. And just go on a rampage.
What's the max? If you can buy up to 100, what's the
it
cap?
is 252.
Well, I mean, buying, 40% is not bad.
No, that's true. That's something for sure. But they're very expensive.
I thought you were going to say it was 1,000 or something.
Yeah, each Pokemon has 554, I think, EVs. And then basically every 4 of those points equals 1 increase, like 1 visible stat increase. So if your attack is 105 and you get 4 attack EVs, it's going to go up to 106.
I mean, I like that you know this. I don't have the capacity in my brain to store this information. I have too many facts about Scooby-Doo and Gravity Falls and very weird-looking animals that apparently only me and a bunch of scientists care about. So,
well, we'll talk about more about them later. So anyway, we are in the Pokemon Mansion. We are at Cinnabar Island. I think next time we're probably going to challenge Blaine and then maybe get to our last gym battle with Giovanni.
Yeah, you can finish your sentences. I was just going to say...
I forgot the word.
You paused. I was like, it's not that urgent. I was going to say, in the comments, if you don't mind, because maybe you care, comment on what video game you'd like to see us do next. Because we've said Temtem. I mentioned Cassette Beast. I don't know if you want to see that. We've mentioned Cat Quest we're excited about. There's so many. We've mentioned Demeo X Dungeon. There's a bunch of other ones we want to play. But just mention, hey... Can you play this game? The prerequisite is usually it's sort of an MMORPG style fantasy roleplay co-op type of game. We don't really do first-person shooter type games. And if you have a request on games available on the Switch that are Pokemon based, which one you'd like us to play next? Or else we're just going to apparently play Diamond and Pearl. Or say you'd like us to do Diamond and Pearl. So yeah, give us some feedback. Let us know what you want to see from us. We're obviously going to finish these games first, but it's good to plan. Anyway, Thanks
Tune in
for
next time.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Have a great day.